Guten Nachmittag alle. Heute schauen wir DS9. Ist ein gutes Schau. Ist das wichtig? Schau? Ich weiß nicht.
Nein.
Nein. Oh, nein. Okay, yeah, that sounds kind of still messed up. The first episode today is Season 5, Episode 20, Ferengi Love Songs. You can see the current episode at the, sort of the top middle there. So yeah, today, Ferengi Love Songs, and then Soldiers of the Empire with Worf, and Children of Time with the whole cast, but there's a lot of Odo. Aber es kann ein English stream geben. Look, I don't know enough German to be fluent here. I only know so much German. How's it going? How's the weather?
It's too warm.
It's too warm. Yeah, we are getting into spring now. It's awful. Like, there are flowers in the yard, and sometimes it's warm outside instead of freezing cold. It's awful. Why would you ever want that?
You want the cold of winter?
Yeah, man. Winter is the best season. Probably because I live in a very mild area, so winter is just a little bit cold, and it rains occasionally. It's the wet season, and the rain is nice. It doesn't snow or freeze here. We might get a little bit of frost, but,
I'm a Freudian.
Ah! Okay, hopefully Herr Deutschland can fix his microphone. He's been trying to do it for like the last 10 minutes. Hasn't worked out quite yet. Hopefully it works out in the future. In the meantime, I guess I'll tell you guys about how I did a complete 180 on my life recently. So recently, you know, in the past, I really enjoy like making a steak, and I would get a tri-tip and go and put it in the oven for a while. Well, recently, I've been cooking my steaks on the stove instead. And the bacon, I just had some bacon for breakfast, and I cooked it, and I'm thinking of cooking it in the oven, doing a switcheroo. Normally, bacon's on the stove, steak's in the oven, switch those around. Put the steak on the stove, bacon in the oven. Makes it way easier for both. I've also considered that the best way to eat bacon might be with chopsticks. Now, we have some people in the Discord.
That's interesting.
Have you considered eating bacon with chopsticks?
I haven't.
Answer, man.
I have not.
Sounds plausible.
Now, I do think that chopsticks are, for many things, they're kind of overrated. Like, if you're a weeb, you probably overrate chopsticks. But chopsticks aren't a great utensil in general, I don't think. But they do have some niche uses that I think are very good. Namely, things that you would eat with your fingers. Popcorn is really good with chopsticks because you don't get your fingers dirty. Bacon is really good with chopsticks. You don't get your fingers dirty. Cheetos, for sure. Anything you would eat with your fingers that's going to get your hands dirty, just chopsticks. Because normally you'd eat with your fingers because it's not really good with a fork. Or spoon.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
That might be a little bit difficult to get a good grip, but I could see it hypothetically.
Boneless wings would be easier.
Boneless
Yeah,
wings.
that'd be easy. Boneless wings. Bone in, you could, you know, it takes some practice.
You could probably make it work, but...
Or just eat the bone like you're supposed to.
My mom is a simp.
Sorry, what?
If you're doing
I
boneless
concur.
wings, you could just use it.
Look,
I
chopsticks...
concur about the steak and the bacon, though.
Yes.
But I tend to sear the steak in the pan, and then, you know, with thick steaks, I finish them in the oven.
Alright, 15 seconds, everyone. Everybody be ready to start the first episode. Episode 5, or Season 5, Episode 20, Ferengi Love Songs. And get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
If you really want to change your steak game, dry brine.
Dry brine. I haven't tried Like doing any kind of brine or do people marinate steaks? I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. Dry brining is just
Yeah, yeah.
so good and easy.
That I've heard of. Normally I just slap it on the in the pan with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and baste it with butter as it's cooking.
Yeah, that works. Have you tried grapeseed oil?
I have not. I've only tried olive oil.
It has a higher smoke point, so you can sear the steak better without getting the bitter flavor
Okay.
from the oil.
Also, why are people firing phasers in the bar? What's happening over there? Oh, are they hunting voles? They're probably hunting voles.
Yes.
I assume. Okay.
Instead of watching
They
the
could be doing a changeling sweep.
Instead of watching the episode, we never watched the episode. What are you talking about? We don't do that here. Blacklisted by the Ferengi Commerce Authority, because this is indeed a Ferengi episode. We're going to spend like 90% of it on Ferenginar.
Strap in.
I know I said a little
Speaking
bit
of
ago
Jeffrey
that I
Combs.
really like the rain, but Ferenginar might have a little too much rain, especially since it's like noxious industrial acid rain. It's not. Oh, that was fast. I
hell?
forgot that they had already started dating, actually. Okay, so pretty soon they're going to be married by the emissary. Oh, right, it has to be soon, because I remember that bit in, when they're, like, setting up the minefield, and Rom's just focusing on his closet. He doesn't have enough space.
Yeah. I love that they pulled a background character up and made her like a recurring side character.
And she does a good job. Showers me with endless love without ever asking anything in return, and that's you, brother. They're talking about Moogie. Moogie absolutely does not shower them with endless love.
Yeah, no, not a thing.
Sorry, Rom. I always get them confused because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, she showers Rom with endless love. Not Quark, though.
Quark is an
Not even
asshole.
bothering to
To
hide her profits. Why is Quark crying and sad?
his life is in shambles and he needs his mommy.
But his life has been in shambles for the last 7 years.
Yeah,
I
but it's
guess
finally caught up to him.
Okay.
Specifically in shambles now because of the FCA ban.
Yeah.
That was like a season ago. What do you mean?
Well, that's
Oh,
what
it
he's
was just
upset.
recently, wasn't it?
I say again, this is what happens when you talk about steak instead of watching the episode.
Well, here's the thing. What kind of steak do you guys generally go for? In the past, I would generally go for a tri-tip, but
Ribeye.
Talk about Star Trek.
It's the intro. We have nothing to talk about now, other than steak.
Ribeye, or you could do a porterhouse, New York strip. Well, a porterhouse is just the best T-bone.
Okay.
A T-bone is a porterhouse that the fillet side is too small to be considered a porterhouse. So
Now, people who really, really love their steaks would probably hate me, because one, I don't even know what kind of steak I buy. I just kind of look at it and look at the prices like, yeah, this looks good. And two, I cook my steak occasionally to well done, and I think it's very good that way.
oh no, oh no.
Now, here's the thing.
I-
Here's the thing. When people are complaining about well done steak, they're talking about overcooking the steak and making it actually well done steak doesn't have to be like dry and burnt. That's not what that means. That's a poorly cooked steak. That's not the same thing. Well done just means it's less pink in the middle. People really exaggerate about that. No. People just like cook it badly out of spite and then say like, "Ah, this is cooked badly." It was like, "What do you say?"
Well, a good steak starts with selecting a good steak. You got to get a lot of marbling, and
Sure.
the whole idea is that when you cook it, you render the fat, and it makes it tender because of all the voids left behind by the fat, and it's all juicy. And if you cook it too much and you drive all the juice out, then it's just tough, and the
Now, a
flavor is
well done
gone.
steak is absolutely not tough if it's a well done, well done. Absolutely not.
It's a hard
That's a
hard
badly done, well
balance
done.
to achieve.
Wait, who the heck is Tiny Ron? What was that credit? Who's Tiny Ron? What do you mean he's tiny? Is that his name, or is he actually just tiny?
It's the stage name of a very tall actor.
Okay.
Where did they
that
find a
Mayharduk?
Bajoran earring
What
in
is
his
that?
size?
What Bajoran earring? Oh, for
Where did they find one in his size? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's custom made.
Custom made, man. But yeah, if you want to come over sometime, I'll make you a well done steak, and you can see that no, it's not actually dry and tough. It's a perfectly valid thing that's just not pink.
Oh, he was.
Okay,
Tiny
this
Ron-
is gonna be a steak off. We're gonna visit, and then you make a steak and I make a steak, and we swap steaks.
Okay. Now we do need some independent judges. Michael, perhaps. Michael's very regular here. Common. That's not the right word. Michael's a commoner.
I wasn't listening. What are we talking about?
Steak and how Robo and I are gonna have a steak off.
Okay, go for it.
Directed by Rene Aubergenois. Nice. Yeah, you could a day, 2 days. She's pulling a Kai Win. Feel free to stay as long as you wish, even a week if necessary. No. Now, general life tip: do not ask your mother to remove her clothing. That's just weird. Yeah, it's true. I do cook my chicken well done as well. It's true.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Highly
just
advisable.
hypocrisy. What, I can't cook my steak well done, but I can cook my chicken? Look, I even cook my pork well done. Is that an issue too?
Well, some of us don't want food poisoning.
I even cook my asparagus well done.
Here we go.
Now, see,
That's
look.
Tiny Ron.
So, wait, Tiny Ron is actually Mayhardu? I was just joking.
He actually is, yeah.
I assume. I mean, Tiny Ron's like a 7 foot tall actor, so I would assume.
Yeah,
that's
he,
him.
I looked. He is a Mayhardu. He's also a Hirogen.
So, here's the picture that Robo shared. I don't know if this is something that Robo cooked, but this is not nearly
Yes.
well cooked enough for my taste. That's too red. Normally, I would go for...
That steak is practically still breathing.
Yeah.
Look,
I'd probably go for
all
an amount
right.
of steak that's like red in this portion that I'm circling. Just sort of in the middle.
So you want
That's too
medium?
rare. That's not medium. Oh, I
No,
want
what
medium,
you
yes.
want is medium. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy with anything from medium to well done. Those are all good. I will admit, though, yes, that is a nice crust.
Yeah, dry brining, you get a super good crust. The top one was a New York strip, and that one's a ribeye.
Okay. Why do you just have these pictures, by the way? Just available?
Well, one of the kind of hobbies I took up with the lockdown was making steak.
Okay.
I used to eat out a lot, and then when eating out was not an option,
Literally cheaper to buy a big old steak than get a burger out at a restaurant.
Yep. Yeah, more or less.
The Global Tongo Championships Wow. Golden Masters. I bet Mugi just wiped the floor with everyone there. Mongo, Mugi could probably beat him at Tongo.
Oh no.
Can't mix those two words. That means something else.
What if your mom's name was Mongo?
That would be a very confusing. You're probably going to get bullied in school. Zeki. They
Are all the
love each
Ferengi
other.
just throwing the tournament to the Grand Negas?
Probably.
You know what? That's a good question. Because on one hand, you're like, yeah, they want to simp to the niggas, but on the other hand, they're Ferengi. They want to cheat each other.
It's never too early to suck up to the boss. I don't know what rule of acquisition that is, but it's one of them.
I'm thinking about it. Which one is it?
Yeah, it's not totally clear to me if Zek is actually good at business or if he's just in power. I don't actually know.
I'd love to know how he got there.
Like maybe he
Star
was
Trek.
a really cunning and devious businessman before, and then he just got old and kind of senile, and now he's just chilling.
You want the legacy of the Negas. Chronicles of the Negas. There you go.
The,
The Secret
legacy
Life
of the
of the
leg.
Grand Negus. I don't think we see Mayhardu and Mr. Home together at any point, no. Not the same person. Those are different people. They're different species. Lobekins.
They're both giant gray-skinned manservants, though.
Lobekins.
What would even be the human equivalent of Lobekins? What do you call someone?
About that. Well, I mean,
A
for years,
Lobekin?
they're a sex organ, right?
Well, maybe we don't need to go into too much detail.
How's it going? TikTok?
I mean, I was thinking of something fairly benign, like how's it going, Armkins? How's it going, Scalpkins? How's it going, Eyebrowkins?
Humans still have earlobes. They just
we
aren't
do,
as big.
We don't actually care about them, really. They're just kind of there.
I'm just gonna start referring to my girlfriend as Lobekins, and she would see what she does.
Okay. What the heck is he holding? Is that a drink bottle or is that a tool? He looks like he's holding a big gulp with a cup, with a cap.
Could be a drink mixer.
maybe it's full of contacts for the rebellion. Oh wait, no, that's an ice cream.
Is that a blender? Okay, those are not the same. Look, it's good that Rom is willing to engage with Bajoran culture, but you can't ask Lita to like literally be your property because it's your culture. That doesn't work.
Logic though.
I believe yesterday we already had a dating tip about how you don't own your partner if they're not property. But just to reiterate, dating tip number 33, the same as 32, you do not own your partner.
What if they're into that?
Then legally you don't own your partner.
But what if
You
you're
aren't allowed to
a
own people.
1995?
What if you're in a committed relationship with a chair?
Sorry, 25.
I mean, some people are in relationships with inanimate objects, which is, a thing.
Kind of creepy.
The Japanese guy that got married to his Nintendo DS.
I mean, it
Well,
was a
now
good
that
system.
I understand.
Sorry, I should clarify. A character in a game on his Nintendo DS.
Oh.
At this point, wouldn't the Nagus be like behoven to clear all of Quark's problems? If he's dating his mom, and he was in trouble for his mom earning profit, and he
Nepotism
obviously
and
doesn't have a
Ferengi
problem with
culture,
her.
don't be ridiculous.
Well, he's letting her wear clothes in front of him, so
Yes. Yeah, apparently the Grand Nagus is actually pretty progressive, all things considered. I mean, them doting on each other and the displays of affection, they're a little, extreme. There's a lot going on.
Her son is around. Like, come on, lady, show a little restraint.
They're certainly a lot more affectionate with each other than, say, Rom and Lita even, or Worf and Jadzia, or Cisco and Cassidy.
Let's go Cassidy. That makes sense. They're both responsible leader types.
Wait, what do you mean you don't want to violate the law? Moogie's wearing clothes. That's in violation of the law.
Yeah, basically.
You watch your tone with me, young man.
Be my slave and then get out, future son-in-law. Fuck you.
I mean, strictly speaking, in the United States, you are allowed to still have slaves. You can still enslave people just as punishment for a crime. The state can enslave people. Individuals can't enslave people.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
the U.S. government is allowed to enslave. You cannot be a private owner of a slave.
Is that how the whole prisoner thing works then?
Yeah, prison labor. I think they do actually pay prisoners just for the optics, but it's like 5 cents a day.
Pennies. Yeah.
and they can only spend it in the commissary.
Yeah.
So like if they want to get such a thing as a cassette tape player, like a Walkman, it's like $150 or $200. So
Yeah. Meanwhile, it costs like $5 a minute to call home. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd highly
I don't.
recommend the John Oliver segment on prison labor, if anyone wants to look into that. It's pretty good, very informative. Ugh, clothed females walking down the streets of Ferenginar. Disgusting. Isn't the Tower of Commerce like miles high?
Yep.
How are they going to hear him from down there? Is he bringing a megaphone? What does he mean he's going to climb to the top of the Tower of Commerce?
I assume the Tower of Commerce was a reference to the World Trade Center.
Also, I mean, they can go into space. I'm sure they have some way of amplifying your voice up there.
I'm just trying to picture Brunt
But they have
standing
big
at the
ears, they
top
don't
of
need
like
to.
the Seattle
Oh,
Space
that's a good
Needle.
point. I didn't even think about that. They have giant ears.
They do. I'm just picturing Brunt at the top of the Space Needle, holding a megaphone, shouting at people. He just
They're all just
shouting,
like, "Ah,
I
that's
denounce
loud!"
you. And then one of his friends has to come up. It's like, look, Brunt, you can't just say the word denounce and expect anything to happen. Remember, my house is my house, as are its possessions. Wait, 2 days in a row with Trek races that have traditionally naked... Wait, what did we watch yesterday? I don't remember. Oh, right, the Betazoid weddings. That's right. Very different context on them, though. Oh, so that means even tiny Ron Mayhardu is lucky. Good for him. Well, he gets to work with the Grand Nagus of all people. He gets to be a slave for the Grand Nagus of all people. Zach, about that. Every strip of Latinum. How much did she actually give up? Was it... Did she say a third?
A third, yeah.
Equal rights for females.
I love the species whose culture revolves around tricking and lying to each other aren't like constantly suspicious of each other.
Yeah, they're very
Like,
trusting.
just taking him at his word. Like, what?
Yeah.
Confirmation bias.
And he can trust Quark. Quark's going to be his son-in-law. Or, wait, stepson. That's how that works.
Right. I think I think that's partly what's going on. Is he knows which buttons to push. You know, you don't want to be made an idiot by that woman, do you? Right.
Oh, Zach. What is Quark holding? Is that a gun? Oh, no, that's
Isn't it?
No,
Oh,
that's
that's right.
It's an ear.
Ah,
It's like for cleaning ears.
That was very concerning. The image of Quark putting a gun to his temple.
I think he's done it once before.
I mean, I know O'Brien put a gun to himself before. That was... He's too distressed.
Really, that worked with everybody else.
Oh, thank you, Moogie. Oh, good, we get the whimsical music. With Quark trying to get his mother to break up with some guy and potentially get arrested. Are you well aware of station rules, Worf? You tried to murder someone before. Tried to stab him with a knife.
He didn't try. He succeeded several times.
Yes,
And you can be aware of the rules and still break them.
true. Wait, what did Gowron do? Did he stab someone as well?
He's a Klingon. He probably did.
Wait, Gowron or Martok?
Or Martok, yeah. It's really convincing, Rom. Not even trying to
Aw.
hide it.
Aw.
It's okay. We all
I
know
love
it's going to
Rom
work
so
out for him
much.
in the end.
No, it isn't.
Dude, I fucking love Kira. She's my favorite.
Aw.
The whimpering.
She's
That's
like,
my favorite part.
she doesn't give her any bullshit. She's just like, you're an idiot. Shut up. Fuck you. Get back together with him.
Think of
I
all the
love
money
her.
you
I
can
wanna-
get, Lita, when he becomes the Nagus. God, you're going to be so rich. Is that a no? No. Well, I mean, he's
that's a good
honest.
Ferengi.
Okay. Well, at least he complimented you like that. Scheming and profit centered, yeah.
Who
It's
couldn't
high
keep her
praise.
clothes off.
These things happen. Has anyone here ever been accused of plotting to overthrow the government?
Nope.
I mean, I know some people in the US have recently, but hopefully not the people
Yeah, that's a
here.
hot button issue.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up, Quark.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that Brunt even... Well, I was going to say I'm surprised that he actually fulfilled his end of the bargain, but he is a Ferengi, and a contract is a contract is a contract.
Contract is a contract.
But only between Ferengi. But wait, no, but Quark wasn't a Ferengi, because he doesn't have a business license.
Also, I mean,
It's a
Brun
gray
isn't
area.
exactly known to sticking to the contracts himself.
Yeah. Quark feel guilt?
Yeah, Cousin Gala.
You mean the man who owns his own moon?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this. First clerk to the Nagus? Why does Mayhardu look so concerned? What does he know that Zek is plotting? That's horrifying.
That's not what's going on.
Yeah, no,
If
he
you don't
knows
remember
something.
this episode, you're going to be in for a good surprise.
Yeah, Mayhardu is very clearly concerned about something. But yeah, I don't know what.
You'll find out.
Also, Zathos, we don't say Dark Elves here, we say Drow.
Mm.
Drow is the appropriate term.
Yeah, I
154.
mean,
Oh!
don't say the DE words.
Oh. Right, because Mugi had actually all the information for the Ferengi, what is it, an empire? Just knew everything. And
The
now
Ferenginar Alliance.
the Ferengi Alliance. And now Zek just doesn't know anything by himself. And the Ferengi are screwed. Okay, so yeah, what we were saying earlier is exactly what happened. He used to be very cunning and devious Ferengi, and now he's just old and senile. And just riding on his legacy.
And Moogie was keeping things running smoothly.
Just give this... 17. 7 3/4. Okay, yeah, no, I was gonna do this math, but no, absolutely not.
Good call.
Different denominators. No, I'm not doing that conversion.
Math is for people who can do math. That's not me.
I mean, math. You just don't do math on stream as a rule. It's a bad.
I don't know if
idea.
I don't know if it already happened or if it's coming up, but there is a scene with Zek in that chair, asleep,
Okay.
and
I love that.
when Quark walks in, he wakes him up. And in, I believe it was a deleted scene from the DS9 documentary, Wallace Shawn says, "No, I actually just fell asleep on set. It was such a long day."
Well, it works. And his drow is the Dungeons and Dragons version of Dark Elves. That's what a drow is. If you ever... I mean, not really. I mean, it's okay, I guess. God, can I just do a clip of O'Brien saying that overlaid with a bunch of YouTube comments about intimacy in Star Trek?
Yes, please.
Oh, hey, Morn. Oh, it's a Jumja stick. And, like, gelatin cubes. What is she doing? Oh, well, that... I don't know if you actually had to give away all your Latinum ROM. I know it's a nice gesture, but you could have just
Maybe
had her
that's
not
what
send...
O'Brien told him. Maybe O'Brien like scammed him for all his Latinum.
Like, yeah, I'll transfer that donation in your name, for sure.
Let's get married now. I'm totally fucking broke.
That's what everyone wants to hear.
Now O'Brien can buy all the technical manuals he wants. No, O'Brien does actually often help people with his relationships. He helps Bashir a couple times. He helps Rom, apparently.
Worf helped Quark with Grilka.
Quark helps Odo with Kira.
Garrick helps Odo with that lady who runs the Bajoran restaurant. Sort of.
Right?
That's something I wish they expanded on.
I'm glad that they went with Odo and Kira. That's probably my favorite relationship in the entire franchise.
Sorry, which one?
Odo and Kira.
Oh.
I wanted to see more of Kira and O'Brien.
No, absolutely
no.
not.
And just how it was so horribly awkward. Yeah.
What have you done? She sees through the lies of the Ferengi. FCA. Oh, good. Maybe we shouldn't have exactly one person in charge of the entire economy for an interstellar empire.
Yeah, you'd think that, an empire that runs solely off of profit and economy would have figured that out.
How is this even an autocracy? Surely it would be just whoever is richest. But then I guess that
Wouldn't
Zek
that be the
is the richest
Negus?
Ferengi.
The Negus
But-
is the richest Ferengi.
He's the richest
But
Ferengi, but
is
he's only
that-
the richest Ferengi because everyone thinks he's the richest Ferengi and they keep giving him more profit.
Is he rich because he's the Negus, or is he the Negus because he's rich?
I think he's just
Probably
rich 'cause he's
both.
the Negus.
The chicken and the egg.
Which came first, the profits or the power?
Oh, that's a good one. You got to throw that in the video.
Brunt knew about this the whole time. He totally set everything up.
Oh yeah.
What have you done? Now he's set up to
Jesus
be.
Christ.
Jeffrey, what are you doing? Why are you gyrating in the chair, Jeffrey?
I can't believe they used that take. My God.
Jeffrey.
That's just weird.
No, stop. Wallace Shawn was just in that seat. No.
What do you think this is?
The last time we saw Jeffrey was that defective Wayun clone who's just way overexcited about everything. And now he's gyrating in a chair and he's way too excited about being the naked. No, this is Jeffrey. Calm down, man.
This is
You have a
this
job.
Jeffrey in heat? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, you don't have to have it up at 11 all the time, man. It's fine.
Could you imagine if Shran was like fucking gyrating like that?
Oh no.
Yeah. Treat people in your employ like family. Exploit them.
Exploit them.
Don't say
You
the
guys are
C
making me
word.
want to actually study the rules of acquisition and memorize which one is which.
Oh, there's also... I mean, the rule is employees, but you could also probably apply it to family, that employees are the rungs on the ladder of success. Don't be afraid to step on them. Well, the Ferengi don't paint their nails blue. Their nails just are blue. Every Ferengi has blue nails.
This doesn't make sense because they have red blood.
I mean, are your fingernails red? I guess they're a little red, but...
Are they? Mine are usually either clear or white. If yours are red, that's probably something
Well,
you should go
I
see a
just-
doctor about.
For being
nails
all that
should
well
be-
done steak.
They're not
nails
like
should
bright
be,
red, but
like,
I
a
can
pink
like
color.
I can see a little bit of the pink underneath because there's, you know,
All the well done steak.
Blood. If they're white, then you have some type of circulatory
they
problem.
absolutely should
So
not
that's a
be
sign
pure
of a
white.
circulatory problem. Yeah.
No, like the tips of the fingernails. You know, the stuff that you cut off are white.
Okay, sure, those are white.
Computer
Stuff in
activate
contact.
the EMH. Look at Ryan's fingernails.
My fingernails are perfectly healthy, thank you. They're nicely trimmed. They're white on the ends and a little bit pink in the main portion. They're good length.
Thanks for listening to my nail pet podcast. Same time
Oh.
next week.
Grand Zek has really long fingernails. Jesus, he has claws. How are your guys' fingernails? Are they healthy?
No.
Oh yeah.
Non-existent.
Wait, what do you mean non-existent? What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, I bite my fingernails really, really badly.
Oh, I thought you were saying you
Oh,
had no
yeah.
hands or something. I was like, what?
Oh no, no, I have
chopped off
hands.
my arms last week.
Yeah. I bite my nails, but they look like they're manicured, so that's good enough.
Okay.
How is this not over?
I don't know.
I feel like this has been going on for hours.
It's almost over. Wallace is having a great time with this roll.
I think Wallace has a great time with every role.
Never going against the Nagus when profit is on the line. No, you need Mookie. You don't need Quark. Or Ishka. It'd probably be weird if that, if
Oh, yes.
Nagus called him.
Comes walking in like
Ferengi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's a CGI Mark Hamill. What the hell?
Yeah, I was thinking Luke walking into Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Oh, that's good too.
Though I do maintain Obi-Wan is a better, or at least more fun to watch Jedi than Luke.
He has a sense of
Even
humor, at
old Ben?
least.
Everybody loves Ewan McGregor. That's his name.
Okay. So Obi-Wan in his prime. Gotcha.
I mean,
I can
Yeah,
see
not
that.
the
old
Guinness
Obi-Wan
one.
is kind of fun too, but we barely even see the dude.
Yeah.
My favorite old Obi-Wan moment is when he comes back as a Force ghost to talk to Luke, but he's just so tired he still has to sit on a log
Yeah,
as a ghost.
he has ghost back problems. No, so episode 3 Obi-Wan is peak Obi-Wan.
What about Clone Wars Obi-Wan?
He's cool, but he's not as good as episode 3 Obi-Wan.
Is episode 3 where Obi-Wan tells Anakin not to let his temper or recklessness get the best of him, and then
That's
he chases a drone
that's all of
out
them.
a fucking window.
That's all of them.
He jumps out the window chasing a drone.
That was
Like, what?
episode
What are you
2.
doing?
That was
That was
episode 2.
Episode
Okay.
Yeah, where they're flying around on the speeders and they're like doing all this reckless shit.
Yeah,
Episode
and it's
3 is
like
the one
they
where they're
literally on the
invading
elevator
Grievous.
ride up.
They're invading Grievous's capital ship, and they're just having a great time with it. It's like, oh, I sense a trap. I sense it too. It's like, what do? We spring the trap. It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. Going to kill a bunch of droids. We're going to slice through some walls.
The prequels.
That's my favorite prequel stuff is when it's basically just Lethal Weapon with those two guys.
The prequels really changed my perspective on the scene where Obi-Wan presents Luke with Anakin's lightsaber.
When
This is your father's lightsaber
Child Killer 3000.
that he used,
Oh, yeah,
that he
he
used
used
to
to
murder
murder
a
all
bunch
those
of kids right before I chopped his arms and legs off and left him to die on a fire planet.
He wanted you to have it.
he was a good friend.
He was like a brother to me.
Also, real quick, I want to know more about Marauder Mo and like the idea of like Ferengi kids, Power Rangers and shit. That's fascinating.
Do they like bribe their enemies to stop attacking the city?
I suspect that they're robbing the city.
See, Brock,
Marauder?
acquire. Acquire, Brock, acquire. Get back in the
Oh, God.
closet.
There may come a day.
When their profits suffering and all come crashing down. But it is not this day.
Today is not that day.
Yep, there they are.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
thank
like, what is this about? Like I imagine Marauder Mo is the good guy, but like, who are his villains? Which one of those are the villains? Are they actually like hero and villain, or are those like partner characters that Quark is just like pretending are fighting each other because he's 11 again? I don't understand, and I want to.
It's
But
a visual
basically-
figure of himself from first season Next Generation when they had the energy whips on that planet.
Oh boy, the energy whips.
Oh, that's right.
Now, we do actually see the energy whips again in Enterprise. We see one energy whip, and it looks
Yep.
so much better there.
Of course it does, because it's fucking 15 years had passed.
Yeah.
Marauder Mo's primary villain is a social justice warrior.
Oh.
Okay.
Isn't that just everybody else's primary villain?
Oh,
Okay, moving swiftly on. Next episode is Soldiers of the Empire. 1 minute countdown.
Okay.
Everyone be queued up to that. Yeah, the Ferengi bad guys like demand equal rights. I would bet that the evil Ferengi is a woman that wears clothes.
They're also probably socialists.
Probably.
Well,
they
I
would
don't know.
they would
Like, I think
probably never make a female action figure with clothes. So I think socialist is probably the correct
True.
take
if
on the
it's for
villains.
children, it's probably like fairly tame compared to like any kind of woman figure, because like the adults are like horrified by women earning profit and being like anything
Right.
more than
10
just
seconds.
It's very
Everybody, get
uncomfortable.
ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, I like how Rom's character arc over the course of the series is he basically just becomes a communist.
He even starts a union.
A union.
In that episode,
A Romunist.
he quotes directly from the Communist Manifesto
Oh,
in
yeah.
that episode.
Yeah.
You have nothing
Yep.
to lose but your chains.
Okay, I was watching this scene the other day and I noticed something that I'd never noticed before. Watch to the very end of this scene and look at their faces.
Martok and Bashir?
Yeah,
How did he disable the security protocols in Next Generation? It required 2 command level officers.
Don't worry
to
about
do that.
it.
I mean, these are Quark's holosuites. They could probably be futzed with in any way. That you
that's a
want.
good point. Those aren't Starfleet holosuites. They're privately owned.
This scene
Yeah,
also
but a dead
has one of my
customer doesn't
favorite
pay his
moments in
bills.
DS9, where Martok and Worf are just quoting honor at each other, and what's his name? The kid,
Okay, here we go.
the Ferengi kid. Look, whatever his name is, he's just looking
Nog.
at them. Nog.
Here,
Just the
watch
way he
this.
looks at Martok and Worf quoting honor at each other, just very awkwardly. It's like, what do I do? Nobody actually talks
I
like this.
love
What are they
that
doing?
because like you think he's
I love
just
that,
being an
yeah.
asshole, but then it's like, oh yeah, Bashir is talking to him like a Klingon, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they like have respect for each other, and then
Having a
they
great
both
time.
smile at each other about it. I love that. I never
I
noticed
like-
that before.
I like how cadet uniforms have pockets, and
Yes.
the officers' uniforms do not.
Why not
They
they
do
all
have
have? Why don't they all just wear cargo pants?
Why don't we go back
I mean-
to the Enterprise era uniforms?
Why
They
don't-
had so many pockets.
Why don't
I
we
know.
all just wear cargo pants? You know.
If you watch the docking of the latest Crew Dragon to the space station, which is a thing that I did because I'm a nerd, you'll notice that all of the astronauts, literally on the space station, are all wearing cargo pants or cargo shorts of some kind.
They're so
Because
convenient.
there's no gravity.
Utilitarian. Yeah, you can carry stuff
Yeah,
around.
just watch
Sure.
Nog's face here. It's amazing.
So if it takes days
Oh.
to get Klingon blood out of the carpet, I believe that suggests that Klingon blood is really stains badly, or between now and the 24th century, humanity has clearly lost the secrets of our modern day rug doctor technology.
I like to imagine that it. Like, first of all, why do you have carpet in your surgery room? Like, Bashir, what's wrong with you?
I don't know, why does the Enterprise have carpet on the bridge and couches?
Well, you can't really track dirt in everywhere if if you're on a spaceship the entire time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
Also, probably
in a medical
slippery?
facility.
Just
Going
take a
back
moment to think about how all the dirt on a spaceship is just skin cells from all the crew.
Gross.
Ew.
Also,
Okay.
going back to Martok's injury, they may have been on a holosuite, but they also could have been using real batliths, which would have had, like the holosuite program wouldn't know what to do with them. So
yeah,
like, it wouldn't
Martok
prevent-
specifically told Worf that I told Dr. Bashir it was a holosuite accident. It wasn't actually.
I still think they were training in a holosuite.
Probably.
It does say it
Oh,
was a
is this the
training exercise.
Retarn episode? I love the Retarn.
Yes.
What a beautiful little ship. I want to command the Retarn.
Are you sure? It's a ship of ill fortune. People die on that ship.
I'm pretty
Actually,
sure
no,
People die on
nobody
every
dies on the
ship.
ship because they always run away.
Yeah, but then Martok turns it around with Worf's help. The Star Trek Discord
Worf,
server
nobody
did
talks
a
like
thing.
this.
Klingons talk like this.
I love Klingons. God, I love Klingons.
Wolf, son of Moog.
I need to start referring to people as just X son of Y, X daughter of Y.
Johnson, son of John.
I mean, they do that in Star Trek. They do that in bloody Lord of the Rings. Theoden,
I
son of
need to
Thengel.
know who everyone's dads are.
Why do we care?
And also, you just be like, Eric, son of Eric, because I'm my own father.
Oh,
Remember that?
No.
Oh. I think it's something I said on like the first stream I did.
Okay.
all right. Well, I'm actually gonna head out, but this was fun.
Yep. We're here every week.
Awesome. I might pop in next week.
Okay.
A good time is had by all.
Farewell.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That's it.
What's Captain Kirk's father's name?
Commander Kick.
No.
Ellen, it sounds like there's stuff going on your mic.
Sorry.
Was it
we see him in.
George?
Was it George?
I don't remember.
I think you might be right. I think it's George because we
Yeah,
see
it
him.
is.
We see him in the Star Trek 2009. But yeah, nobody ever calls him Kirk, son of George, because that just sounds dumb. George,
Yeah,
son
but
of
I think it
Bill.
was.
Oh yeah, he's played by Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Star Trek 09.
We really need to find someone who looks good, like wielding a big hammer. That's what I would picture for George Kirk. Guest stars David Graff. I don't know who that is, but he's a guest star, so he must be important.
He invented graphs.
Oh, Rick Worthy. I know that name. I can't picture what he looks like, but I know the name Rick Worthy.
He is the
Oh,
he's the Dr. Cylon in Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined one. Have you watched
That doesn't mean anything to me, but okay.
David
Yeah.
Graff is he's Tackleberry from the Police Academy movies.
Rick Worthy. I think he plays a Klingon elsewhere.
He plays one of the
Yeah, Rick
Arboreals
Worthy's been
Indy.
in a bunch of Trek.
Let me
He
see.
was
Star Trek
in-
Insurrection, Star Trek Progeny, Star Trek Enterprise. Yeah, he plays Jannar. Who's Jannar? Oh,
The Arboreals Indy.
yeah. The dude with the
On-
beard. He's also in Voyager. He's just some guy in Insurrection.
Have you not seen the reimagined Battlestar Galactica?
No.
I believe clarity is the human word for Tovadok.
I have not seen any Battlestar Galactica.
You
I
can watch
got,
the reimagined.
I got season 1, and then it started with last time on Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you mean? This is
This is a
episode 1.
miniseries, Yeah.
So
You
one
actually
is
don't
the
need to see the
first
miniseries.
TV show, but there is a 4-hour miniseries that comes before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so now I need to get that first, because...
You don't really need it.
But
I didn't see
Yeah,
it
you
first.
kind of do to set up
Fine.
what's going on. Because like
Actually, I mean, the first episode is kind of meant to throw you in the middle of not knowing what's going on.
I mean, sort of.
then
But
why did
I
they
think
give you the last time on?
33 is better if you know what's happening.
I don't think so, actually. I was just fine with it not knowing what was going on.
Now, why did the Universal Translator not translate that?
Because Worf didn't want it to.
Why did it not translate Tovadok the first time?
What you were talking about.
Because there's no human word for it.
But there is a word for it. It's just clarity. Small arm. Wait, why do you have to recalibrate the small arms? What do they do? Do they like make sure the batteries are charged on the phasers? What's happening?
If they're not calibrated correctly, like when you fire them, it's like 15 degrees to the right.
I was
Just
thinking
goes in
maybe
the wrong
it's
direction.
if they're not calibrated, like you could think you're on stun, but you actually just disintegrate a person.
So there's a lot of problems that I have with some of the Starfleet technology stuff. Specifically, for one, in this case, why wouldn't the small arms
Recalibrate
have like a
themselves.
computer in them and be able to calibrate themselves? Two, why do phasers, especially like the rifles and handheld phasers, not have some kind of built-in aiming system? And like it would know what you were aiming at and then just correct your errors.
Well,
Well,
because
I don't think I want auto aim on a real gun. That seems prone to actually hit the wrong target.
well, funny you should say that. There is such a thing. It's called tracking point, and it is hackable.
The last thing Starfleet needs is more Wi-Fi enabled. Just anything.
See, if you as somebody operating the weapon though, were wearing one of those eye targeting things that we see later on in that episode with Ezri, you could choose what to target, and then all you have to do is shoot the phaser.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also a thing in The Fifth Element. Remember that gun Gary Oldman was selling? How you could target someone and then shoot in the complete opposite direction, and all the shots will still go to the same target.
Is Odo just being racist here? This feels like profiling.
Yeah, Odo's not good. We've already talked about this. He's quite bad.
Yeah, but we can just get more and more examples of why he's awful. Is it because that guy didn't have sleeves? Maybe that was what Odo was profiling. Not the fact that he's a Klingon.
Maybe it's because he just reminded him of the Cardassian neck trick.
Odo doesn't even have a physical house, let alone a political one. Worf lives in his car, basically. He lives in a van.
Yeah. There's like a van parked in the promenade. The Worf like lives inside, and there's maybe like a some.
I mean, I was
he, like,
thinking of
hangs
the
his-
Defiant, but yeah, he could have a literal van.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of the Defiant too, but maybe he has like a clothesline that goes across.
Jatsuya, what are you doing? You can't just troll people when you're going on a Klingon bloody warship in the middle of the war.
Now
What are you doing?
Julian has to manage the fleet logistics and be the intelligence officer.
That's fine. He's genetically engineered. He'll be fine.
Has that
He
been
can handle
revealed yet?
everything. Yeah, it's
It
been
has, right?
revealed. I think that was
He's a
last week.
GMO.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the sleeveless man. He's gonna be trouble.
This man is played by Rick Worthy.
Sleeveless man?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a complicated question, Tavana. Kinda. Why is everyone so obsessed with Curzon Dax? What did he even do?
I think we're getting the answer to that question.
Do you know Curzon? He banged my mom.
I really like how in the first season episode Dax, there's this whole moral dilemma where like Dax is accused of a crime that Curzon did, and they have this whole trial thing, and they're like, who is Curzon now? Who should be held responsible? And the resolution to this philosophical question was Curzon couldn't have done the crime because he was busy doing your mom.
Yeah.
The entire basis of the episode is basically bypassed.
They were trying to argue kind of that a Trill is not responsible for any of the crimes or, bad things about a previous host, but they do get to take credit for all the accomplishments of the previous host.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're the great Curzon Dax, just in a new body. You did all that cool stuff. But no, you kill one person, you assassinate one political leader, and you just get away with it.
Just think about being the prosecution in that episode, where, you're trying to avenge your father's death. Bring his killer to justice, and then you find out that actually not only was he doing your mom, but also your entire cultural, like the entire foundations of your culture are based on a lie.
Is there blood on that pad? Looked like there was a big streak of blood down the backside of it.
There's probably blood on everything in the Klingon ship.
That's not
If you
sanitary.
if you bring a black light, the whole ship just glows.
That does not follow medical guidelines. That is a biohazard. I guess Klingons aren't worried about bloodborne diseases because all their red blood cells are just tiny little white blood cells. Tiny little warriors, they have tiny little batlets, and they just kill any disease that enters them. Perfectly healthy. Oh god, are you guys aware of that old cartoon about the human immune system that's like anthropomorphized? And the white blood cells are cops and they have to go hunt down diseases.
Yeah, William Shatner was in that as the mayor.
I imagine there is absolutely a Klingon version of that, where instead of them being cops, they're just warriors with batlets.
That's what it was.
Osmosis Jones, yes.
I wonder what the Klingon animation industry is like.
Now, animation is a very honorable position. You do battle against reality itself.
I don't know if Klingons invented cartoons. It's like how you can have a hyper advanced calendar and observation system, but you never really invented the wheel just because the conditions were never really appropriate.
What are they playing a
Is that like
civilization game
War of the
over there?
Worlds?
They invent combustion before pottery? What's happening?
Yeah.
Klingons have cartoons, but cartoon is spelled with a K.
Okay. Or like Q apostrophe T N S.
Yeah.
Somehow Kronos is pronounced with an R even though it's QO. Okay, they all eat together. They have a nice communal dining hall. Dax, that's it. That guy really looks like O'Brien to me. It's not Chief O'Brien, but he looks like Chief O'Brien. Not her, that's Dax. She doesn't look anything like Chief O'Brien. Are we sure that's not Colin Meaney?
No.
I mean,
I find it interesting that like Klingons have 2 hearts, 4 lungs, extra bones, super strong, and yet they get thrown around by humans and stuff in a bunch of episodes. Like Cisco beats one to a bloody pulp, and how does that work? I guess they don't have plot armor.
It works very well, thanks for asking. Klingons being terrible at battle is also repeated in the Jem'Hadar being terrible at battle. They're beat up all the time, even though they get punched, even though they're scaly and have literal plating.
Spikes. It looks like
they're only 2 years old.
More. Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
They also bludgeon people with their weapons instead of, firing them. That is dangerous, Martok. Okay, so if we just find a very basic battle, maybe a single lone ship, we can just destroy it, right? We're going to take that opportunity. An honorable ship again. Why does everything gotta be honorable? It's the only adjective they have. How do you like your steak cooked? Honorably.
One Ractigino hot honorable.
Yeah.
I think we all know Klingons take their steaks rare.
Okay, that's
even
true. They do
blue.
have a second adjective, which is dishonorable. That's true. That's racist. Do we ever see in the new Star Trek shows a Klingon fighting? We see like one time where Burnham stabs a Klingon in the pilot episode. That's not much of a fight because they're like in spacesuits. I'm wondering if maybe if a new show would make the Klingons actually deadly to fight instead of kind of pushovers.
You see him in Star Trek Beyond. No, Star Trek, fake Star Trek 2.
There's no fake Star Trek. There's just Star Trek. Also, Jinx, I saw your microphone activating, but nothing came through. I don't know if you were actually trying to talk or if it was just like background noise.
Oh. No, it must have been background noise.
Okay. That I heard. All good. Jeez, Rick, chill. What are you talking
Corden
about?
would make like a really good Klingon blues singer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he sounds
God,
like
this
he's
guy's
gonna
such a
start.
downer.
He's gonna start
This
throwing
shit is
animal
made
bones
for
on the table and trying to
tears.
read their portent. What is he talking about?
He's like emo.
The souls within this cursed hole are doomed.
Gonna go home and listen to Morrissey.
Is Klingon emo music like happy and uplifting?
Yeah.
Oh look, a
Klingon
single
emo
lone
music
ship.
is just like bluegrass music.
Shoot it, Martok.
Well, we know opera's big, so
Less than a 3% chance. How do you even measure that? Kill them. Decloak and fire. Kill them now. Well, I guess Dishonor visited them this day. Guess who was right?
It really bothers me, just like what a nightmare it must be for I don't know what to call them, like the Klingon software developers who have to deal with the weird aspect ratio and resolutions of these hexagonal screens.
UI design has got to be a nightmare for that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Worf, we didn't even kill anyone today. We could have killed him. So why doesn't the universal translator translate Parmakai? Why doesn't that just turn into wife
Don't worry about
or
it.
girlfriend? Wait, are they married? They're not married yet.
Now that happens after
After they retake
after
the
event.
station.
I'm so glad that Dax ended up going with Worf instead of Bashir.
What about Worf going with Dax instead of Troy?
Hmm.
Star
Yeah, I
Trek
don't
Bridge
know.
Crew does not have the Defiant, no.
It
It
might
has
make more sense.
it has the JJ verse USS Aegis, it has the original Enterprise, and it has the Enterprise D. Well, then fire faster, Martok. So if Martok's not willing to attack a single lone Jem'Hadar ship, what would he be willing to fight?
Maybe
I
like
think the
half
answer
a
is just
Jem'Hadar
nothing.
ship.
Like maybe if he found some Jem'Hadar just hanging out on the surface of a planet, he might bomb them? No, Martok, I'm pretty sure you're failing everybody. You're not doing a very good job here. You need to inspire confidence in the crew. Oh, that's a big cup. Can she drink
Is
that
it?
much blood wine?
Did they give her a bigger cup to make everybody look bigger by comparison?
Yeah, I think her cup is actually larger than everyone else's. Because, like, the guy behind her, the cup is about the size of his hand. Jadzia's cup is twice as big as her hand. Yeah, they fight for their gods.
Yeah.
They fight for the changelings, for the founders.
How can you kill a god? What a grand and
Oh, hey, Column.
intoxicating innocence.
They're smarter, they're faster, they're stronger, and they're younger.
Dude, yeah.
The guy who looks like O'Brien isn't even that good of an actor. He just makes me think. It really makes me think that he's O'Brien pretending to be a Klingon in Klingon makeup. Like he doesn't know how to be a Klingon. Shoot him. Shoot Lesket. Oh, good. Well, at least Sleeveless Man is standing up for Martok, kind of.
Yeah.
And Odo said he was going to be trouble. Look how not troublemaking he is.
Hmm.
If I was like a Klingon architect, I would put like little steps on the tables that would make it easier to like leap across them and tackle people.
A
He's a
real
pretty good
warrior
tackle
doesn't
from
need
sitting
any help.
position.
Do you suppose that Klingons have rules about hair pulling in fights, like ad hoc challenges?
Hair pulling would
Yeah.
not be honorable.
You're not allowed to mess with the prosthetics. Everything else is fair game.
Soldiers of the Empire, that's the name of the thing. No, Worf, it's definitely going to come to that. They're plotting a rebellion, or a, what's it called, a mutiny, right now. Should probably do something about that. That's your one job. Dripping with it, that's going to be a lot of blood.
Yeah. Wait, aren't the decks already dripping with blood?
Mostly just the mess hall, and, wherever it is that they
Dry
butcher
blood.
the targs.
No, most of the blood is dry.
True. So the Jem'Hadar didn't finish them off? The Bemoth is just hanging out there for days or weeks?
It's a
See it as
trap.
bait.
Engineer you have the bridge. Do they... I mean, I know Klingon ships are run differently, but, well, who do they have run the bridge on the Enterprise if Riker and Picard are away?
Data. But I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it's always
Scotty
Data.
was in charge, was like number 3 in the
Yep.
original series.
Yeah, he would be in command after Kirk and Spock, I believe.
Then in Voyager, it's just like,
It's Harry
Um,
sometimes.
yeah, it's. I was going to say it's Neelix.
No,
I was going to say,
it's
like,
not Neelix.
like the
No, it's the emergency command hologram, obviously.
Not the emergency command Hobbit. Does Robert Picardo get to be in command more times than Harry Kim?
Maybe.
I know Harry Kim works the night shift occasionally.
Yeah, he plays his clarinet.
But that's what's great about the Doctor. He can work every shift.
Well, Harry Kim doesn't need sleep either,
And why is that?
because he's such a hard worker.
Oh, not because he's a ghost or something? Because he's died
No.
repeatedly?
It's because he's a model minority.
You say so? There was a story that Garrick Wong told where Garrett Wong is Korean, and
Mhm.
Harry Kim is a Korean name, and apparently the
Mhm.
writers told him, eventually, that his character was actually supposed to be Chinese.
Whack.
Which, that doesn't make any sense. I guess it's just a Chinese guy with a, significant Korean heritage.
Sulu was just was a Japanese guy who was named after an island in the Philippines.
Martok, why do you sound so scared? Are you having flashbacks? What's going on, man?
He's
You
being
feeling
a
okay?
little baby boy.
The year of Kalis, 999. Wow, we're about to celebrate a new millennium in the Klingon calendar. Are they gonna have a party?
Yeah, they're gonna have a big party. Bill Clinton's gonna be there. All that stuff.
Elevation? What do you mean elevation? We're in space. There's no elevation in space. Everything's on a flat plane.
It said degrees, so it was. I guess it was. So it's vertical.
Yes, the actual answer is just from the current angle that they're at, it's 25 degrees up from the current angle. But I was just thinking, in space, in Star Trek, there's no such thing as 3 dimensions.
Oh, true.
Actually, no, I said Garrett Wang was Korean earlier. That's not correct. He has Taiwanese ancestry. Harry Kim is a Korean name. Just go over and look. Go look, Martok. What's the worst that can happen? Do you really think the Dominion cares about the border?
Can you transport while cloaked?
I don't think so. But they could go and check while they're cloaked. They could fly over.
You can transport while cloaked. They do it in Star Trek 4.
Okay. Also, whatever happened to the firing while cloak technology from Star Trek 6? Was it too good? They had to get rid of it for fairness?
They destroyed it.
Yeah, it was a prototype.
They still had the blueprint, surely. They still had the scientists that knew how to build it in the first place.
They were all on the ship. Everything.
Yeah.
All the blueprints, all the scientists, the engineers, everyone was on that bird of prey.
Yep. Even the shipyard.
Yep.
They had the shipyard in a pocket dimension inside the cargo hold.
And just nobody thought of that idea again.
Well, I'm sure someone thought
Other
of it.
than-
They just couldn't figure it out. All the scientists were on that ship.
Shinson figured it out, right? His ship fires while cloaked.
Yeah.
Fake
Funny
Picard.
thing, all the plans were on that ship too.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think they built more scimitars. I don't know
How
how canon
convenient.
that is. We never need to care about the technology involved in the scimitar because that was the last time we needed to take the Romulan seriously in the timeline.
Did they say that the anti-cloak treaty with the Romulans is still in effect in Picard? I think they mentioned it. I don't remember what they said about it. He dishonors us all. Chill out, Lescott. It's all fine. Dax, what are you even doing over there? What are you pressing buttons for?
Take your trill and go. Jesus.
Yeah.
Where are they supposed to go? You're in space.
Get up and walk back to DS9.
There we go. Worf's in command now. Now he's the captain. Worf, how dare you? God, why is it? We've had a few times on the Next Generation where some admiral or someone will come on board. It's like, I'm taking over the ship. You have to do what I say now. How come they never duel to the death? They always just look at each other sternly and say, no, nah, I'm still in command.
Yeah.
Pull out a knife. Do something about it if you really want command. On, stab him. Stab him, Morph. You can take him. Now, I've never been in a knife fight before. But just looking at this doesn't look like a good strategy on their part. They're swinging real wide with those knives. Like pulling their arm all the way back, then doing a wide swing all the way. I mean, it's just a knife. You can just like poke him. Just stab him. They even have a medical ward?
Sure.
They have a room where you can receive an honorable death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Klingon EMH just executes you.
I might have actually learned this song. I don't know what it translates to, but I do know the Klingon words. Well, I say I
Are
know
you
the
gonna
Klingon words. I know it phonetically. I'm not going to sing it for you.
Oh darn.
So they're going to be in weapons range in 9 minutes. So they're just going to be here singing for the next 9 minutes.
It reminds me of that scene in The Hunt for the Red October.
Let them sing.
Yeah, they're able to find the submarine because they're singing the Russian national anthem.
Yes. Koi keles buklod koi pukbebu yakpa makba jeju vi she maktumeo.
I think I prefer Yaja KO.
Why does the doctor have a need to know?
Because
The
he's the
doctor.
intelligence officer.
But he's the
Worf's
doctor.
gone. Yeah, but he's the only one who has the right security clearance or whatever.
Why doesn't, like, Cisco do this?
Because he's not even in this episode. And they didn't want.
What has he
They
been
didn't
doing?
want to pay him to show
Where
up.
is he?
He's no, he was in this early episode earlier where he let Worf go on a vacation.
Yeah.
I am glad we got to see Bashir just complain about paperwork at least one point in this episode.
Yeah. It's very important.
Because when I heard that he was going to have that job in a previous scene, I would have been really upset if we didn't get to see that.
Okay, so at this point with this scene, this is going to raise a lot of questions about what it means for Alexander and that kid that Worf basically adopted, Jeremy Astor. It's going to raise a lot of questions for Kern, who had his memory wiped. What happens with all of them? Apparently nothing happens with all of them. That doesn't apply.
It's kind of a messed up relationship with Martok and Worf, where Martok needed to stab Worf to, defeat his insecurities, and Worf just kind of let it happen.
Sounds very Klingon to me. I don't know.
Oh no, guys. I got an email just now saying that my PayPal account has been limited. It was sent by Tuzafuxikumen 6C5-Zook8HB@googlegroups.com.
Oh, yeah. Sounds extremely legitimate. You should investigate that.
I should probably click on this log into PayPal link. Make sure I
Yeah.
have.
You gotta
They
put in
found
the
suspicious
first.
activity on the credit card linked to my PayPal account.
You gotta make sure you're entering like the first 4 digits of your dog or your mother maiden
Yes.
credit card number.
You know what's really suspicious about the activity of my credit card on the account? I don't have a credit card linked to my account.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's very suspicious.
Yeah. You got you're putting. You're using someone else's credit card. That seems kind of sus.
That is very sus.
Yeah, I got an email about suspicious activity with my Wells Fargo account.
Do you have a
I
Wells
don't
Fargo
have.
account?
Not at all. Very
Okay.
suspicious.
I keep
Yes.
getting those robocalls about how the warranty on my vehicle is about to expire, and I don't even have a license.
You should
I
probably
answered
get a
one of
license.
those
Those are
calls.
important.
I answered one of those calls one time, and I said, "Oh," they asked me if I still had, a particular vehicle because they get the vehicle registration from the Secretary of State. It's public information. And I said, "No, I traded it in." And he's like, "Oh, well, what did you trade it in for? Maybe we can cover that." I'm like, "Well, this was during the government shutdown." I was like, "I traded it in for a 1984 Space Shuttle Endeavour." Yeah, the government was just giving them away.
Wow.
Wait,
You
is
got a whole
Anthony
space
Blinken
shuttle.
been giving my personal information to robocallers?
Also, my favorite thing about this this email is if I unblur the screen here, it's the font they use. Look at that font. It's so fancy. It's all like italics. And it's curvy. It's like half cursive. It's a lovely font.
Fancy.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I think this may be illegitimate.
What do you mean? That can't be true.
I don't know, man.
It
They
says
didn't
from
even get
PayPal.
It says you are asked to take action. That's certainly very formal language.
Yeah.
They would definitely use it in an email.
All right. So, Fallon, this next episode is a significant portion about Odo and how he murders a bunch of people. What do you think about that? Also, 1 minute countdown.
I'm gonna probably get going because I haven't seen this one before.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, wait, I've seen this one before. Just never mind. I'm gonna stay.
Odo sucks and he's a fraud. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He's a fraud.
Gooey Louie is a fraud.
Oh, hey, I'm scrolling down in that email. It also says PayPal is committed to preventing fraudulence. Emails from PayPal will always include your full name. Learn how to spot phishing. But this email doesn't include any name, let alone my full name.
Ah! Oh, that's funny.
The learn how to spot phishing isn't even a link. It's just a blue font. They just changed the color.
Well,
To help us,
they know.
click help and contact. Also 10 seconds. Everybody get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And blur the screen. Don't know why you received this? Learn more. Also just blue text.
Yeah. It's all for looks.
But come on, at least give me another scam link as in helping contact. Put me in contact with a scam call center or something. Come on. They only did half of the scam. Now, which is more fraudulent, Odo or this email?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely Odo. Odo's a fraud.
It's still Odo.
It's still
He's
Odo.
a fraud?
At least this email didn't murder people.
Yeah.
Yeah, or knowingly let abuses happen for years and years. Yeah.
Why are you looking at each other like that, Odo and Kira? What are you doing? Okay. Well, that's how I'm ending today's stream.
Excuse me, I need to regenerate.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between, excuse me, I need to regenerate, and just the higher the fewer again.
Pull on a Commander Shepard, and he's just like, I should go.
I'll quit bugging you now.
I really like the conversation tactic of when someone asks you an uncomfortable question and you just go, I have no opinion, and now I'm going to take a nap.
Yes.
I like this guy just walking around giving people coffee.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Some
my
sort of
job.
Steward.
Yeah, like he I think he was like a lieutenant, so he's probably been doing this for years.
The coffee lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, are we sure we want to be drinking coffee on the bridge with Starfleet consoles? That seems dangerous.
I was just thinking, like, do you think when they have to do the achy shaky when they get into combat, do you think like it stains the carpet?
Why are you all looking at each other like that? It's like they know the episode is about to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're towards the end of season 5.
Yeah, no, Kira doesn't have any offspring on this planet for reasons that will become immediately apparent once we actually get into the episode.
What if we find out that what if the DS9 crew in season 5 just got sucked into a season 1 TNG episode?
I mean, we already had that with the TOS episode.
It would have been even better if Kira had survived the crash and she just ended up with O'Brien, and Odo had to watch that to its logical conclusion.
Oh god.
Well, they do have a prior relationship.
Mm-hmm.
For a few days, you say.
O'Brien has suffered so much.
And you're going to make him suffer more by dating Kira?
Well, when you put it that way.
Welcome to Gaia? Really? You call it Gaia? Really? He remembers that detail from hundreds of years ago?
Well,
from his perspective?
It's so unnecessary. Why even bring it up?
Where did they get the materials for all those windmills?
It bothers me how most of the windmills were spinning, but some of them were not.
Oh, sorry, not windmills. Wind turbines. Windmills are something else. They're not milling anything, presumably.
Maybe they are. I wouldn't put milling past these people.
Well, the people are milling, but those turbines weren't milling. Those are just standard wind turbines. Miranda O'Brien. Okay, so the chief did eventually remarry. Okay. Now, would it have been, if they were thrown back in time, actually, would it have been more responsible for them to just not have children in the first place? Not mess with the timeline?
Yeah, and then they could have just had... I guess Odo would survive by himself for 200 years. And, like, when they beam down, like, Odo will be there, and he'll just give him a PowerPoint of...
Wait, if Odo just keeps being alive, eventually are we just going to get, like, infinite Odos on the planet?
Why would that be a thing?
Why? Because
They never really explain how they reproduce.
Well, I'm just thinking of... I mean, temporal mechanics. Maybe this doesn't make any sense.
Oh, because it keeps
they-
looping? You'd say?
If it
like
keeps
the
looping.
2021 episode, in other words.
I'm wondering if
Yeah,
it
if
would
they
keep
got-
looping and we just get more and more Odos.
If they got old Odo to go on the Defiant when it gets sent back in time again, we'd like on the next cycle they'd have a 400-year-old Odo.
Like if you put people, you'd probably have to put Odo on the ship before it crashes again. But you could just get infinite amounts of Odos. Yeah, every loop.
Just so no one knows the Sea Life 2021 episode. Now I'm sad. Okay,
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
suddenly I feel old.
How many
That was
Odos would you need before you could take over the Dominion? By posing as every founder simultaneously.
Hmm.
I think you and to answer the question about how founders reproduce, I think you just like pour like corn syrup into the Great Link.
They've got to reproduce by mitosis, surely.
It seems to be a collective effort, though.
Wait, what do you mean? Do you already have Chief O'Brien's DNA in your tricorder? For reference? Why do you have that?
I guess.
It just has access to the ship's database, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, they could have just gotten another sample because Chief O'Brien's just standing right there.
So, doing the math, a settlement of 8,000 people from a starting point of 49 people over 200 years would need to be a population growth rate of about 2.59%. And human population naturally grows by 1.1% per year. So these guys
They're
were,
having lots of babies.
I mean, they don't really have anything to do. Okay.
I appreciate how like when Worf got stranded on this planet, he basically just created a violent cult of personalities centered
Oh,
around
Jesus.
himself.
No, not Quark.
Oh my
Say
god,
you have
no.
27 tessapates of land. How many self-stealing bolts is this worth?
What is the total number of melons you can plant? It needs 1 Cassipate, 27 square... Wait, I didn't see the full thing. Didn't it say 27 square tessipates and you can plant
We'll
1
never
per
know.
tessipate? Is he good with numbers, though?
I don't think he is.
A lot of math today.
Why is this little girl shouting exposition at us? I mean, it's a common enough name, Miles.
Okay, Boomer.
And that girl just takes it in stride. She's fine with this. No. They didn't even try. They could send out a distress signal to the Dominion.
Yeah, they could have gotten a ride from the Karma.
So
Or if they could, if they knew how to play Move Along Home, they could
48
have
of
just.
them. So, did they say they disassembled the Defiant for parts? Or is this like the Defiant bridge that they repurposed completely? What happened to the Defiant? I assume it's still here.
They've hammered it into plowshares.
Yeah.
But it's made of duranium.
Took a lot of hammering.
Yeah, that's how you know you're getting to quality plowshare.
Not necessarily, you say. Because, yeah, we have 2 Daxes right now. And if we send Yedrin on the Defiant, then in the next loop we would have 3 Daxes. Depending on how long a Dax Symbion lives. Or if we store all the technology from this settlement on the Defiant and send it back in time, then we have twice the amount of equipment to start the settlement in the first place. And the next loop we double it again, and again, and again. I'm not sure this really makes sense, though, because even this slight little change is going to affect the timing of everything. And so even if they have the same number of children, they won't be exactly the same children. They're going to be different people. Crawling with Bashirs. Wait. Are Bashir's genetic modifications heritable?
I'm
Yes,
assuming so.
it had to be.
Hey, that's just a
'Cause
bread
they actually
maker.
did modify all of his DNA, not just like his physical attributes.
It's a bread maker.
That's not a very comforting thought, Bashir. Bashir, why would you say this to anyone?
That sounded almost seductive.
Well, hopefully that's not what he's going for.
You'll
Oh,
be on my
Odo.
operating table
Oh, hey, Odo.
eventually.
He's in a bread maker.
He worked out forehead wrinkles, and he made his hair a little bit wrinkly. It's not really hair strands, it's just wrinkles in his hair. But it's, better than nothing. Not that much better. But it's significantly less makeup on Renee. Surely you have gotten over a girl after 200 years. It's been a long time, Odo. And then when he actually
Doesn't
finally
seem
starts
like
dating
the-
her, he just leaves after like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fraud.
Yeah, like you think after 200 years, Odo really wants to rejoin the Great Link.
And it's just Kira's fate to lose every man she's ever involved with. Moral of the story, don't date Kira.
Let's see, how many boyfriends has she had? There was Shakar. Is he alive? I think he's fine.
Just broke up. Oh, wait. Yeah. They
He
just
just
broke up
Vedic
earlier in this
Bareil.
episode.
Vedic Bareil died.
Do you count O'Brien, sort of?
No. O'Brien was married. Odo just
It
left. Odo moved away. He went to another school.
Went back to Canada.
Well, Ducat is oddly obsessed with her, but that's not
Oh,
really
yeah,
a
yeah.
relationship.
Oh, in the documentary they said that they were toying with the idea of putting them together.
That would have been
It would
awful.
have been a very bad idea.
Ew.
That's why they did hit her mom with Ducat instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that documentary, the fact that Mark Alima was really pushing for Kira and Ducat to be a thing was concerning.
They had chemistry.
He was Space Hitler.
Yeah. He was a genocidal maniac.
The chemistry that he had with anyone was just manipulation.
Yeah.
And
What do you mean, and? You can't just... No, that's bad.
Yes. No genocide allowed.
No genocide, no gaslighting.
Is no genocide a dating tip then?
I feel like that's a general life tip.
Fair enough.
Don't commit genocide. In fact, genocide is when you kill a lot... Well, not necessarily even kill. But don't kill anyone, actually.
Ducat.
And we do not need to devolve into a tangent about assisted suicide or medical suicide. Just leave that alone. Just say, in general, don't kill people.
This settlement reminds me of the planet where Data
Oh, look, it's
accidentally
TOS
gave
going
a
on.
bunch of people plutonium, possibly because it's the same place.
Wait, surely he would be a son of Worf. And what about the lady? Is she a son of Moog as well?
wouldn't they be the son of whoever they were?
Yeah, none of
The
this makes
son
any
of-
sense.
Yeah, that lady's not a Klingon. That's a TOS Klingon.
Right.
Well, on TOS, Klingons supposedly had some type of human antigen retrovirus thing
Yeah.
that caused the ridges to recede, according to Enterprise.
Yeah, that weird retcon.
The Starfleet developed a biological weapon that turned all the Klingons fugly.
Talk about, what type of biological, psychological warfare would that be? Give them a virus that doesn't kill them; it just makes them look human.
Well, that wasn't warfare. That was their own experimentation gone wrong. They were trying
I'm
to
just
create
saying, what if
Klingon
they-
augments.
What if you did that on purpose, just to psych out the Klingon
Just to mess
Empire?
with them.
Yeah.
Just beam over some triples. Case closed.
Oh, Worf and Jadzia got married in that timeline. Good for them. Yeah, best not to worry too much about Klingon forehead continuity, because it changes like every other series.
I want to say a Star Trek series where the humans have weird foreheads.
We do have weird foreheads relative to everyone else. Everyone else has something going on up there. Ours is just flat.
Yes, but like we get retconned into having forehead ridges.
Oh, okay. Chief O'Brien. Oh. And that seems like a good idea. If you got along well enough to get married and have children together, yeah, go ask her out.
This
That's
is a
true.
great dating strategy where you just get where you just get like a clone of yourself stuck
I don't
on
know if I
a
want a clone of
alternate
myself.
timeline planet for centuries. I mean, knowing O'Brien, whatever relationship he was able to eventually create here surely ended up being miserable for both parties.
Does Chief O'Brien have to suffer on this planet?
Yeah, of course he does.
He does on all planets,
Yeah.
all timelines.
It's his defining characteristic.
So if the prophets really don't believe in time, exactly, they experience time non-linearly, this is probably just fine for them. Don't worry about it, Kira.
She's gonna get duplicated, but her duplicate would still die, so she'd be knowing
Yeah.
she'd be sending a copy of herself to its death. That's kind of cruel.
And which one is
Yeah.
she going to experience?
Exactly. Well,
Or
guess
does
you don't
everyone
know.
on the Defiant just kind of cease to exist and they get replaced by 2 clones?
ooh. Well, I feel like they're okay with that because they use transporters on the daily,
Yeah.
and for like all evidence points to the transporters creating a copy and destroying the original anyway. So
Yeah, the fact that Thomas Riker is a duplicate has got to mean that the transporters just reconfigure you completely. It's just a copy.
what about
What
the
if
episode where Picard became energy and then they turned him back into Picard and he had no memory of anything that happened?
Yep.
Like, anyone ever see The Prestige?
Yes.
It's like that.
Yep,
Like,
exactly
you don't know whether you're waking up in the, on the other side or whether you're dying in the box.
Strictly speaking, I don't know that I was alive yesterday because maybe I just am a different person after I went to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, every night I die and every morning I'm reborn.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to have a stern talking to that guy last night.
Night me is an asshole.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Stays up late, he drinks too much, he sucks.
So suppose, just for the sake of argument, that in the Star Trek universe there is absolutely some kind of afterlife, where if someone dies, they go to the afterlife. Now,
They go
if
out
these
with
people,
God at the center of the galaxy.
if these people just cease to exist, do they not get the afterlife? Do they just not happen in the first place, or does the God of the Star Trek universe actually recognize them? What happens here? Do they get an afterlife? Or if the ones that have already died in the settlement and are in the afterlife right now, do they cease to exist in the afterlife?
So when does life begin? Or
Does the God of the Star Trek universe, if there was one, would he consider these people as being a valid entity or not? Because
they have souls. Even if they cease to exist, their soul would exist in some form, wouldn't it?
But does it? That's the question. Does their soul still exist? Because it never
I
existed in the
think
first place.
so.
They were never born.
Well, yeah, but your soul exists before you are born. It's just in like a waiting room or something, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a biologist or something, but if under the parameters you're setting as far as afterlife and that kind of thing, I would say there's a pre-life.
Okay.
But that's just the way I'm reading it. Yeah, Cisco doing some nice soft toss there.
There you go. Cisco, thank you. Thank you. Because I remember in early TNG, Riker being like, oh, how do we know it's not the divine plan for us to do this thing, to let this civilization die? How do we know? Maybe it's all part of the plan. Cisco here is like, no, I'm going to do what's actually pragmatic. Screw that. I mean, that's a pretty good trade. 1 life for 8,000. It's a good deal. Oh, good job, Dax. You got your friend killed.
I should probably get going.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See you
So
next time.
long.
The
Until we
higher
meet
the fewer.
again.
Oh, he's gone. Okay. Now that he's gone, we can keep talking about the episode. So this man. Yeah, that's gotta be pretty rough. You don't even get to die to escape the guilt. He just keeps going with more lifetimes. My grandfather is buried on that mountain. Yeah, no transported duplicates for them.
We don't trade lives.
But what if it's a really good deal, like 1 for 8 million?
Nah, we don't
What
trade
if we're-
lives, Captain.
What if
Kira
we're
would do
trading
it.
lives and we can just get infinite Odos out of it?
You know Kira will do it. She'd volunteer without even having to ask her.
I mean, you do have to ask her, though. And soon they won't understand anything, because they won't exist. So, for the record, Kira, just because you can't tell you have some illness doesn't mean you don't have it. That's an important point that a lot of people seem to be missing just in real life.
Yeah.
And soon this planet will be really, really quiet. It's going to be quiet forever. But you won't see it set? Yep, okay. Gotta be dramatic about it. Okay, so that guy has wharfs. I think that's a Mechleth. I assume they only have the one. They just have to share wharfs.
I'm sure they made more.
Could they make more, though? Do they have the metal for it?
They
I mean, that
have
guy's
all the
holding
Hall
a
of the
stick.
Giant.
Look, lady, you need to eat a vegetable sometime. You can't just keep eating bear meat. Okay, yeah, we just established
Well,
that is Worf's Mechleth. Would you look at that? No, but would he still exist in Stovacor if he didn't exist in the first place? How does this work? He could give them an honorable death. Worf, stab him. Luckily, Klingons have rituals here. If you just do a little chant and light some candles, then you stab them. They get to go to Stovacor.
yeah, he should be killing them all and then going back to the. He's like, yeah, I sent them all to Stovacor. Siskel's like, what?
What are you gonna do? We're not on the station. There's no regulations here.
These people won't even exist. It seems like he gets a free pass on murder.
Yeah, is it really murder if there's no body anymore? Okay, so Kira is volunteering to stay. Also, Kira, it's not just the 8,000. You have to remember the people that from previous generations. There's a lot more. Who cares about fate? Make your own decisions.
I'm Miles O'Brien. I'm very much alive. I intend to stay that way.
Yes. Worf, you don't even have a family. I guess Martok may do his family in the last episode, but I mean, he probably won't care that much if you just go out and die.
Doesn't Martok making Worf part of his house kind of like invalidate all the effort Worf went into putting his brother in another family,
Yep.
erasing his memory?
Worf's brother,
If his brother
and
could just
Alexander
wait a few
Rozhenko,
months.
and Jeremy Astor, who Worf made Rustai with.
Made Rustai. That just doesn't sound right.
Nope. Some of
Made
the
Rustai.
people here from earlier streams will be familiar with the term Worf making Rustai with, and just fill in the blank.
Oh yes, that was a celebrated running gag.
Worf made Rustai with his Rattagino this morning.
He made Rustai with the boy. That's the line. Kern tried to make Rustai with a knife before they wiped his memory. Oh, come on. You could at least let the kid take a day off. Well, no, because they are planning to let the place continue. Well, so if they actually stayed on the planet, would the Dominion War have happened? Because we see in the alternate future with old Jake that there was no Dominion War. And that was after Cisco died. That was the only change. But is it too late to avert it? If we just
Do
kill
we know that
Cisco-
there was no Dominion War, or just that the Dominion War
I
was
don't-
over?
I don't remember why we know it, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't a Dominion War. There was no war.
Maybe is because the writers hadn't thought of it yet.
I mean, sure, but you can say that to anything, but we have to deal with the implications in canon. Cisco is the cause of the Dominion War. Because he died, the Dominion War didn't happen.
Maybe it just postpones it.
Okay, at least Avery's having a good time. The Sons of Moog. One of which is a woman, but don't worry about it. Does that count? I don't think that counts. That's not going to get you into Stovacore.
Yeah, nice try.
We're going on
They're out there
Klingon
plowing
honor.
with the batleth, weeding with the mechless.
Just think, in a few minutes, this child will have never been born.
Spoilers.
Okay.
That's a what would you call that? Retroactive abortion?
Let's not go in that
I mean-
direction.
It doesn't even qualify as anything that we have a word for today.
It feels like murder.
Pre-abortion.
Temporal abortion.
Preemptive.
So how about
Birth,
that
retro-
plowing with a mechleth? How about that? It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? Very good use of that tool. Kira's got her crochet back on.
I think that's actually crochet. I think that's just an
No.
intricate pattern in the wearing.
She does love her crochet, though. A lot of Bajorans
She
wear
does.
crochet. Mostly like a vest. She has a crochet vest.
Yeah.
Keep saying crochet.
She's always
Wanna go
wearing
play some
something
crochet?
crocheted. You just can't see it. Crocheted undergarments.
That would be awful.
Seems a bit itchy. Awful or awesome?
Awful. Definitely awful. Do we have to take everyone up in the Defiant? Could we just leave everyone on the surface so they don't get injured in the crash?
Well, they have to go
No,
back in time.
yeah, that's right. They have to go in the Defiant because the bloody temporal mechanics.
Causality.
So at the end of the episode, we find out that this Odo linked with himself.
Yep.
You would think that, like, in that link, he would have taught Odo how to be a better shapeshifter, and could have used this
Nah.
could have used this lighter makeup for the rest of the series.
This is Renee's out if he wanted to just get out of it. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm done putting this on for 4 hours every day.
Well, this makeup would still probably take a decent amount of time. It's subtle, but it is not as,
Yeah.
it's still there.
It would have been cool if they actually just made it be Renee with no makeup or, regular stage makeup.
Yeah. And I swear at the end of the episode they reveal that Odo linked with him, but I watched this episode when it aired, and I don't know if my memory just made this scene up or if it actually happened and was just deleted in later versions. But I swear in the original episode there was a scene of Odo walking into sickbay and linking with himself.
There was a scene that he did look at his little canister of himself.
But
he
no,
didn't
it
open
happened at this point in the episode, like right before all of this started happening. Like Odo walked into sickbay and linked with himself, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? And like, I don't know if I just made that up or if it was in the original episode and it's not in the later ones.
No, I think you're making that up.
I may be, but like it's burned into my memory. I can see it.
Let me look up DS9 Children of Time, Memory Alpha.
I never even thought to look it up. That's probably a great way to go about it.
Story and script, the collaborator, no. Originally, it was supposed to be Yedrin who caused the destruction of the colony. The planting scenes were filmed near Ventura, California. Okay, yep, colony's gone. It's done. Memory Alpha does not list any deleted scenes.
Yeah, I figured. Like, it's just in my memory. Maybe I reconstructed the scene from Odo explaining it.
Seems like Arkanoid.
What did he say? Arkanoid?
She just had those blocks that were lined up like it. Yeah. I guess they wouldn't move like that.
Well, we can look at the original script for this and see if it was there. Someone changed our flight plan. Not the transcript, the actual script.
You need to link me to where you have those scripts, by the way. I kind of want those.
Well, I can just post the. This isn't a very like searchable transcript, but I can post the actual script there for this episode.
I just meant where you have them all in general. I googled it and like I couldn't find any one site where there was like a bunch of scripts listed.
Oh, I used the Checotea scripts, and then I downloaded them, converted them to TXT. Star Trek transcripts. And copy and paste. So yeah, that's in the Discord if you want to find. They don't have the scripts for the newer shows because the person who made this site's kind of an elitist and gatekeeper, and he doesn't like anything
lovely.
that's new. But the old shows are there. Yeah, you might be reconstructing it from this exposition here.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not particularly fond of the new shows, but I'm not going to prevent you from enjoying them. But I can understand if they don't want to put the effort in to.
No, that's fine if
do
they don't want to
that.
put the effort in. I only take objection to the comments that are like, I'm not going to do it because it's not real Star Trek.
Oh, well.
If you just don't like it, then whatever, man. You don't have to like it. But it is real Star Trek. Good job, Odo. You murdered a bunch of people. Now, this Odo technically didn't murder anyone. Well, at least not recently. But, yeah.
He murdered the changeling.
He did.
He let murders happen a lot.
God, what is Odo's body count? He got a lot of Bajorans on the station killed.
You're a
He killed
fraud,
the
Odo.
Changeling. This is
Now
plus
she
8,000, plus the people who are already dead and who will now never be born. Like 6
Wait.
generations of people.
Doesn't this mean that Odo knew about the flight plan being changed and he let it happen?
He couldn't do
Well,
anything
so-
because he was stuck in a coffee maker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bread maker, I think.
Bread maker? Okay.
What type of bread would Odo be? I'm guessing sourdough.
Yes. Okay.
Fraudulent bread.
It's not truly bread at all.
Yeah, it's just like it's fake bread. It's like a cushion.
Okay, so we have some decisions to make in regards to how we handle the next few episodes and what counts as a two-parter.
Mm.
So let me unblur the screen here and make sure I don't reveal anything. Nope. Oh no, now you can see that my name is Ryan on Amazon, the horror. So the next 3 episodes for DS9 next week are Blaze of Glory, Empok Norin in the cards. However, there is also the season finale. The season finale does work really well with the next 2 episodes. So that would be A Call to Arms. And then A Time to Stand in Rocks and Shoals. That's really good. The issue is just Favor the Bold and Sacrifice of Angels. Do we consider that a 2-parter? I think we have to consider that a 2-parter. So that'll be 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
let's be honest. From Call to Arms to You Are Cordially Invited is an arc. That is a long series of episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, You Are Cordially Invited is its own thing because they're on the station and it's a wedding episode and that's it.
It's a celebration of being back on the station.
Yeah. Sacrifice of Angels is technically the end of the DS9 is Lost arc.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll do Sons and Daughters through Sacrifice of Angels on that week. So that'll be a 4-part. That all works. Okay. That's it for today. What would you guys think about having a day where we play through like a Star Trek adventure game in a Discord.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Sounds like
Which
a plan.
I don't know.
A Final Unity. Oh my god, it's gotta be.
Final Unity, man, that game is rough. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that there are some adventure gamey puzzles in that game.
Well, that's why we have multiple people working together to solve them.
I mean, I'd be happy to help. The problem is I remember most of it, so like,
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Exactly. I'll have to you have to use a lifeline, for that. If people are really stuck, then those of us who've actually played through it can.
Like if you want to give hints,
can
like
give a hint.
like in King's Quest V, there's this completely non-obvious object that if you don't get it at the start of the game, you just lose at the end. Like that kind of thing would be fair to mention. I don't know how old school adventure game it really is. If it just
I don't
punishes you
know.
for
I
that.
don't think that there's any. I don't think there's any dead walking moments in it. So you should be all right.
Yeah, that might
In
be
that regard.
interesting to try something like that. Yeah, I think that's it. Next week TNG. What's next week TNG? TNG Season 5. Overview. Oh, that should be good. So, 1 episode that's kind of awful, and 2 that are really good. Imaginary Friend is the first one, where there's the evil little ghost girl.
Yeah.
And then there's I, Borg.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
The new episode, right on.
And the next phase, where Geordi and Ro
Oh, that's a
are
cool episode.
cloaked.
Yeah,
And
they
then
get
the
to go
week
to their
after
own
is the
funeral.
ending. Yeah, their own funeral, and they shoot Riker in the head.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, the next phase is one of my favorite episodes, not just because the whole thing is kind of neat, even though there are problems with the episode mechanics.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
I
Yeah.
also I
That's
just
dark.
like
Why
the
do they
idea
fall
of
through the
space
floor?
travel.
All right, that's next week though. For now, we're done here. God, what was the line? I forgot the line. What was the line?
I
go-
must
go away,
regenerate.
I have to
regenerate.
regenerate.
Yes.
See you guys.